If anybody else on the East Coast noticing an increase in military air traffic, I know when I was out in Vegas in June, it was constant. And you have to wonder, doesn't anybody ask questions as to why the government is allowing helicopters to patrol so closely to the ground that all buildings of a certain height have lights on them, so that the helicopters don't crash into them? I mean, even when we were coming in out in Utah and places out where there's nothing but maybe huge smokestacks from the types of factories or plants that were out there, very well lit up at night to protect the helicopters from running into them. And so you gotta wonder why people don't, why the government is allowing these helicopters to fly so low to the ground. When I was in Vegas, they were just constant. Black helicopters everywhere. And there was always at least one in the air. And so you gotta wonder, why do we need these helicopters in the air constantly? Another question, Sheriff, do you think of the findings of Masonic symbols embedded in the Last Supper picture? Well, Da Vinci painted that, and he was a Mason. If you're onto it, I have a sudden infatuation with crystal, especially quartz crystal and the amethyst. What kind of vibe are you getting from me? What kind of a vibe am I getting from you? Amethyst crystal actually is one of my favorites because amethyst is the top floor in heaven. It's the dominant stone. If you look in the Book of Revelation where it talks about the floors, the levels of heaven, and the amethyst is the top floor. That was interesting. I've always loved the amethyst. It also has some kind of a spiritual sense to it. People that wear amethyst will feel a clear connection to the God. It's more of like a spirituality stone or whatever. And I don't get into all this hubbub, New Age stuff with the stones and stuff like that. But there's a lot of truths that they have that they just use for their own use that the church has totally avoided and ignored. And so there's a middle ground there, folks. Yeah, turn up the tab. Yeah, you know what? I can't. I've tried. Something just going on with the microphone here tonight, folks. Sorry, I can't get it any louder. It's as loud as it can go on my end, actually. I have it all the way up, and so it's probably this headset I have. May have to think about going and getting a new one or something. I don't know. So sorry about that, folks. Around what year do you suspect the coastal regions to sink into the waters? Get this one all the time. I would suspect, and like I said, with the incoming of Planet X, which causes most of these coastal areas to sink in the ocean, I think you're going to have a little bit of notice. You'll see the Man of Sin arrive. You see this Maitreya arrive, or any one of these really tall Nephilims arriving, claiming that they're men of peace, they're ascended masters, they're of God, blah, blah. Hide, run, go to the mountains, because hell's going to break loose when they're here. They come saying, we're bringing peace to the world, we're bringing peace to earth, we're going to help mankind. And then the mountains crash, and the stars crash, and the planets go haywire, and Earth flips, and yeah, run. Yeah. So that's basically when you see all that start to happen, is because Planet X is going to come in, and Planet X, like I've said, has been carrying Satan's forces, his backup forces, his armed forces for when he takes over the world. And just for the arrival of this planet's entrance is going to cause a shaking of the earth and a lot of the catastrophes and damage. Just as it comes in slowly, we'll start to see things like bigger tsunamis, islands disappearing, and stuff like that. And of course, it's hard to tell what exactly is caused by Planet X and what's caused by our government weather weapons. It's almost like you call it, Okay, it's just a natural catastrophe of Planet X, or the government doing it. Because they never stop with their evil and wickedness. Hey Sherry, what do you think will happen first? The alien invasion or martial law? I think it's going to be martial law first. They could happen both about the same, but I think it's going to be martial law first. Because they know there's people like me out here on the internet who will be blasting them the second they step foot on this earth. And so they're going to want to shut up the big mouths. They're going to come after the big mouths. And so I think martial law will be used to tighten down and get rid of the big mouths before they arrive. Maybe not right away, but sooner or later. Hello, Sharon from Australia, and I felt the effects of elf, dream, so-called. You know what, I get this a lot. You know, people being targets of elf and dream manipulation, chip implants, the effects of being chip implanted, tampering with food. Yeah, I get that one. And you know what I found really very interesting? And I have people that can confirm this. When I was out in New Mexico, when we were in Taos, New Mexico, there was a restaurant next to our hotel, and I would eat there like 2 nights in a row, and just got totally sick, and I couldn't eat there anymore. And I had told one of the people I was with what the Lord had showed me, that there was actually a being that had sprayed something on my food, and that's what had made me deathly sick. And I told her this back when we were out west. Well, just a couple weeks ago, sitting here reading online about that spy that was killed, that Russian spy, and they were saying that the way he was poisoned was from some kind of spray, that there was spray that they had found all over the seat he'd been sitting on and stuff. So there's some kind of a spray. And you know what? This guy probably never saw him. He was probably cloaked, because I've talked before about how our military can cloak and become invisible and you can't see them. Probably one of these invisible military guys walked in, sprayed his food or tea, whatever it was. The guy never saw him and left. And this guy was killed by it, because the Lord had showed me the same thing, that how my food had gotten poisoned when I was in Taos. And we know they were in Taos. They were all over our hotel. And so, how to stop all the harassments. You can't always stop the harassments. It's just, the Lord upholds you and helps you to survive them. Because I'm a survivor of the government. They try to kill me over and over and over again. I'm still standing here being a big mouth. He will protect you to a point and help you to survive through these things. I've been attacked by microwave beam attacks. You see the white lights from satellites or UFO ships or however they're doing it, being blasted into your house, trying to kill you. And so, I've suffered through a lot of this stuff. And I know orgone will help with the elf. If you have elf and dream manipulation attacks, you need to put orgone in your bedroom. You need to put it underneath your bed. It'll help you sleep, and it'll stop the dream manipulation attacks, and they can't mess with it because they can't find it because it's under your bed. Orgone helps with a lot of attacks. It doesn't help with all of them, but I certainly couldn't make it without the orgone. Just sitting at my computer and getting elf attacks through the monitor screen was about killing me 4 years ago. I started feeling like I'm having a chest attack, heart attack, and these were elf attacks. And so the Lord had showed me where to just put orgone on my monitor screen. And so I have orgone on top of my monitor screen. It keeps the elf attacks from hitting me through the monitor. And so just ask the Lord, folks, how to stop particular attacks. That's the whole reason I even got led into orgone to begin with, because I was asking him how to stop the elf attacks. And so I started asking him how to stop the beam attacks. The one way you can stop beam attacks from getting into your home is making sure your windows are covered, and I put a big mirror in my window, because it will deflect their beam attacks. Hopefully it deflects right back to them and destroys their equipment. I don't know if it does. It would be funny.